So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. We are going to talk about Declan Rice again, only this time he's injured. Yay, good one. Anyway, we're going to talk about the virtue signalling left back. He's also injured. It's going well, isn't it? He's obviously missed all 4 of our preseason games so far, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it means we actually have a proper left back in Kieran Tierney there. Let's just hope he stays. But anyway, before we get into all of that, do check out the video on the second channel, Lee Reacts. Just dropped a video about Mason Greenwood. He's going to be allowed to play again. And so he should be as well. So go and check that video out and let me know your thoughts on that. Also, make sure you are subscribing to that channel and this one. Big up to everybody who has. This channel's flying at the minute as well. So thank you very much. 85.2K. So yeah, it's doing all right. Let's try and get it up to 85.5 off of the back of this video. If we can, obviously it is a week away until we play the Community Shield. 6th of August, we play the Community Shield. So what's that? A week and 1 day? Something like that. I think it's next Sunday, isn't it? But yeah, is it next Sunday? I don't know. Either way, it's next weekend. And I'm looking forward to that, actually. But let me know your thoughts and comments down below about this. Get your super chats in as well. But Declan Rice got a kick in training, Mikel Arteta said. Not sure who kicked him, but somebody in training kicked him. And he didn't feel comfortable enough to train. Now, listen, there is a report saying that he's going to be out until the start of the season, that he's not going to make it for the Community Shield. Obviously, we've got Monaco on Wednesday as well, on the 2nd of August, which is my old man's birthday. 65, big up the old man, still going strong. And yeah, the Emirates Cup is just one game against Monaco. Weird. But anyway, that's what happens when you fly off to America to take the big money. And yeah, the Emirates Cup on a Wednesday. Okay, good one. Normally it's on a weekend, 2 games a day for 2 days, blah, blah, blah. Let loads of new fans in the stadium that haven't seen a game, couldn't get tickets. Cheap tickets, blah, blah, blah. But no, this year, just one game against Monaco on a Wednesday evening. Good one. Anyway, Declan Rice didn't have any injuries, really. He's the mainstay of West Ham's team. And I said this when we signed him. For 6 years, I think he only had 1 injury, which was minimal. And he's already been injured by our own players in training. Yeah, and get used to it, because he will be injured at some point this season. Yeah, you've only got to have a look at the track record of some of the players that have signed for Arsenal over the years with no injuries whatsoever. Thomas Partey, prime example, signs for the Arsenal, and now he's always out injured. Tomiyasu, that guy's made of glass, always injured, literally always injured. And I see some clever dick in my comments saying the reason that Tomiyasu's more injured than Tierney is because he plays more. Really? Go and add up how many games they've played, mate, over the last 2 years since Tommy's been here. Tierney's played more. Good one. If you're going to try chatting crap, at least get his facts right. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, he's also missed more games, Tomiyasu, than Tierney. He's missed more days, and he's had more injuries. Tierney's actually been injury-free since March last year, 16 months. And listen, I like Tierney. I know a lot of people don't because they fancy the inverted fullback, the cry merchant, a huddle merchant, who again is injured. His injury record is just ridiculous, by the way. We should have known this from his City days. Just go through his injury record at City. He's always injured. But I'm sure they'll be back at some point, maybe the start of the season, maybe the Community Shield. And listen, Zinchenko is going to be playing in this game for Ukraine whenever that is. We're going to allow him to play in that, even though he's injured. Apparently, he's allowed 5 minutes. That doesn't really make sense to me, but it is what it is. Obviously, he's been crying non-stop about it, virtue signaling left, right, and centre any opportunity he can. But he's only been back once in 2 years. What do I know? But anyway, Declan Rice. Before we come on to Zinchenko, I want to go through his injury record in a minute as well, Zinchenko, because it is actually mad, and it's crazy. Yeah, Declan Rice last season It was only James Tarkowski who racked up more Premier League minutes than Declan Rice. Yeah, and Arteta didn't really want to go too much into the injury. Yeah, but apparently it's a knock sustained in training and not a major concern. Yeah, so he could be back for the next pre-season game, but he could not. And I always find when a manager sits there and doesn't want to tell you exactly what happens, for me, it's like, why don't you want to tell us? Obviously, that's bigger. Straight away, natural instinct, you would go, well, if you don't want to tell us, what are you hiding? Do you remember he did it with Saliba? Oh, he'll be out for a couple of weeks. Then a couple of weeks turned into a couple of months. I'm not saying this is the case with Declan Rice, but if the manager doesn't want to tell you how bad the injury is, then surely straight away you're thinking, well, that's bad then. Yeah, and let's hope, fingers crossed, it ain't bad. Otherwise, yeah, we're pretty effed. Kai Havertz running around like a headless chicken. But anyway, Zinchenko he's missed the final 3 weeks of the season with a calf complaint. Oh dear, oh dear. But it was encouragingly included in the Arsenal pre-season squad. Of course he was. He had to virtue signal for the game in Ukraine. However, Ukrainian international is yet to make a single appearance. That's because he's injured. But anyway, Alex had a little muscular injury, unfortunately, Arteta explained. But I think he will be back soon. And it's the same. It's a shame he hasn't been on the tour with us. Well, he has, but not playing. A little muscular injury that's kept him out for 2 months. Interesting. Because he missed the last 3 games of the season, which was May. The last game of the season was 28th of May. 29th of June, 29th of July. So a little muscular injury has kept him out for 2 months. Okay. Didn't stop him doing the gender reveal at the Emirates Stadium. Have you seen that? What is going on at this football club, by the way? Yeah, is this an elite level football club or a circus? Why didn't he do it in his back garden? Nobody cares. Like, genuinely, why does anybody care? Like, and all this gender revealing and popping balloons and fuck off, man. Yeah, what happened to just going to the doctor, yeah, or to have the scan and they say, would you like to know the sex of the baby? And you go, yay or nay. What's wrong with that? Now you have to make it all special, all singing, all dancing. What a load of bollocks. Yeah, how about start getting fit, mate? Start performing properly and start defending. I can't stand this prick, I swear down. Yeah, another gimmick footballer at our football club. I thought we got rid of all of them. But anyway, the former Man City fullback left the Etihad in search of first-team opportunities, but sat out 17 club matches for Arsenal through injury last season. Almost all of which were affecting that pesky calf muscle. There we go. But Kieran Tierney's always injured. Okay, good one. Tierney didn't miss a single game through injury last season. He missed 17. Arteta's typically vague assurance that Zinchenko will be back soon leaves plenty of room for interpretation. The Gunners conclude their pre-season campaign with the traditional Emirates Cup against Monaco on Wednesday. Just 4 days later, they're up against Man City, the club that pipped them to the Premier League, blah, blah, blah. It's impossible to determine on the accurate timescale for Zinchenko, but it would be a surprise if he were to start the game before the new Premier League season gets underway. Hopefully he doesn't, and hopefully Kieran Tierney starts. Because again, I don't want Tommy Asu in there. He shouldn't even be at the football club. That guy, again, always injured, bang average footballer, not good enough for Arsenal. Kieran Tierney, you can defend, you can play. That's it. You get up and down, you cross the ball, bish, bash, bosh. Job's a good one. Now we're going to the Forest game. But unfortunately, I'm in the minority because Kieran Tierney's not flavour of the month. He doesn't virtue signal. He doesn't do gender reveals on his babies at the Emirates Stadium. And he doesn't sit there crying after getting nutmegged or doing team huddles going 2-0 down to Southampton. So, of course, all the PR around Tierney is a lot less than the PR around this prick. So he's obviously going to get a lot more love than Tierney will. But Tierney is a defender that can defend. And ultimately, that's your job. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and feelings and all of that. How do you see it going against Man City as well? Like, forget Monaco. I ain't interested in that. Man City's the curtain raiser. Yeah, we've got him by default. Yeah, which I don't believe we should be in it, by the way. That may come as, oh, you're so negative. And let me just tell you one thing, people. if you write the word toxic or negative in my comment section, it goes to held for review. And I ain't ticking them comments up because I ain't reading them, mate. So I'm just letting you know, anyone who wants to sit there and go, oh, you're so toxic, nobody cares, because it ain't going to go to public comments. It'll go held for review until I decide one day to go and tick them up, which I won't. So you're just wasting your time. But thanks for watching. You're getting me paid, which is paying for my lifestyle. So thank you. Cheers, guys. I need to go and get beers, actually. We're on the Agua. But anyway, have a blessed day. Make sure you check out the Greenwood video on the second channel, Lee Reacts. Sub to this one. Stick a thumbs up on this one. Leave your comments down below. Leave your super chats down below. And yeah, I'm going back to the pool, man. I'm going to go and get some beers. I'm going back to the pool. Adios, amigos. Ciao.